Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new to plant-based eating, or if you're curious about whole food plant-based eating, or maybe you're following the Starch solution, then this is the channel for you. On my channel, you're going to find quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes that are made without oil. So today on my channel, I'm going to show you 2 different recipes using sweet potatoes. Now I know some people have a sensitivity to white potatoes or regular potatoes, so this is a great alternative for those folks out there that do have sensitivities to nightshades, which include bell peppers, eggplant, and tomatoes, and potatoes of course. But even if you don't have a sensitivity, sweet potatoes are delicious. My favorite are the Japanese sweet potatoes, and that is what I will be using today. I really don't care for the orange ones, not a fan. But if you like those, then feel free to use those. I also like the Hana yams or the white sweet potatoes. Those are also really good too. So the first recipe is going to be sweet potato hash browns, really easy, made from scratch. These are not frozen, these are going to be made from fresh sweet potatoes. And the second recipe is going to be a sweet potato black bean burger. And these are so good, yummy. If you're craving a burger, this is the one to make. So let's get started. First up, we're going to grate our sweet potato. This is a Japanese sweet potato, and this size potato will grate up a lot of potato. You will be really surprised. So what I like to do first, I've washed it completely, of course. I like to cut the ends off. It just makes it easier to grate. So after you cut the ends off, you're going to want to peel your potato. And I just use the old standard potato peeler here. And the skins are a bit tougher on the sweet potatoes. So just know that going in. Then once you have your potato all peeled, you're just going to take your box grater. You could use your food processor if you want, but just start grating. Just takes a little elbow grease here. So see how much it grates up? It's amazing. So before we add this to a bowl to season it up, we're going to put it in a paper towel here. We want to get the excess moisture out. Now the sweet potato here does not have as much moisture in it as, say, a regular potato, but we still want to get as much out as possible. Then we're going to get the crispiest hash browns possible. And I just squeeze it in this paper towel. There's not going to be a lot of moisture, but enough that could hinder the crispness. And as you can see, we're getting a little bit of moisture in there, which is great. All right. Then we're just going to dump these in the bowl. Yeah, and they're pretty dry. So I will be using my trifecta of spices that I always use: garlic powder, smoked paprika, and onion powder. Don't really measure, just sprinkle. I'm not going to be adding any salt to this right now because I don't want the moisture to be drawn out, and then yeah, that's just going to affect the crispness. So if you want to add salt at the very end before you eat it, that would be my recommendation. All right, and then we'll just give it a quick stir here. And that is it. So we're going to go over to the stove and add this to my non-stick skillet. I'm heating up my non-stick skillet. You want to make sure that the skillet is hot because that will sear it, and more likely it will not stick. It's not going to stick anyway in this pan, but if you don't have like the best non-stick, a little bit of high heat to start. And I just do the water test. Perfect. And we're going to turn it down now that it's heated up to medium. Then we just put these beauties in here. And what you want to do is get it all spread around in a nice even layer. Try not to have holes in it like that. If you need to get in there with your hands, do so. But you've got to work quick because the skillet's hot. Okay. And then I kind of just scooch it around the edges here. And then you mush it down with your spatula. You want it to almost look like a pancake, squished down. Okay, now the secret is low and slow. So I'm gonna turn it down to low, and I'm gonna let this cook for a good, I'm gonna say 15 minutes, but I will check it at 10. Okay, because you want that underside to be really crispy. That way it's not gonna stick and you can flip it easily and get the other side going, and the other side won't take so long. So make sure you're on a low flame, and I'm not going to cover it because I don't want it to steam. I want it to get nice and crispy and that moisture to be absorbed out of there. Okay, I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes and then I'll check it at 10. So while the hash browns are cooking, I just wanted to mention a few ways that I can help support your plant-based journey. One way is I started a Facebook group. And there you're going to find like-minded people, you're going to find recipes, inspiration, and support. When you're going through a plant-based journey, if you're just starting, if you're struggling, it's helpful to have the support of other people that are going through the same things. We all need support from time to time, and there's no shame in asking for help. It takes a village, and especially if you are the only one in your family or your friends that are eating this way, sometimes it can feel a little isolating. So getting in with a group of people that are all on the same page is really helpful. Another way is I created a short little e-guide that explains the benefits of the plant-based diet, and it's got some information in there that could help you make that decision. And then also I have a newsletter that comes out every other month, and I address different subjects. Some are from a nursing perspective. You're going to find some tips in there, some hacks, some recipes, and things that can help make this journey a little bit easier. It is tough in the beginning, and we all struggle a little bit, I would imagine, especially if you're coming from a standard American diet. Then it's really a big change. And baby steps, and these are some things that can help you. And I will leave a link to all these resources in the description box below. And if you are liking what you're seeing so far, please hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to the hash browns. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. You can see we're getting some little crispness here. So I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit. I kind of like to start going around the edges. All right, so we're gonna go another 5 minutes. I turned it up just a notch or two, notch and a half on my stove. And then we're gonna do another 5 minutes, and then we're gonna flip it. You wanna go around, which I've already done. Then you can flip it. And then this side's gonna take maybe 5 minutes. And this one's pretty thin, so you might be like 20 minutes on the first side and 10 minutes on the second side. Just depends on how thick you make your hash brown. So 5 more minutes and then I'll show you the finished product. So I just wanted to show you real quick, look at that 50-50 plate. Now I would eat this for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Doesn't matter to me. And I just topped it with some ketchup. If you wanted to put some cheese sauce on there, that would be good too, but I just kept it simple. And I just wanted you to hear the crunch. Super crunchy. All right, we're gonna move on to the burgers. Okay, so to make these sweet potato and black bean burgers, really easy. I have a Japanese sweet potato that I just peeled, so a little naked sweet potato. I'm just gonna mash this real quick. This is probably maybe a half a cup or so. It just came out of the fridge, so it's a little, and I warmed it up a little bit, but it's still a little cold, I guess. Now I normally do this in my food processor, but I thought, hey, let's try it just in a bowl and see if it works. So I may resort to my food processor if this doesn't work. Okay, I've got a cup of black beans that are rinsed and drained. We're gonna mash those up a little bit too. Because you do want chunks in here of the beans and the potato and everything else I'm gonna put in here, but not a lot. Then we're gonna add some rice. It could be white or brown. About a half a cup. We've got half of a diced onion, and you want it finely diced so it all holds together. Stir this together. Then we want about a tablespoon of maple syrup. A couple tablespoons of ketchup. Give that a stir. Then we've got 2 tablespoons of cornmeal. Heaping teaspoon of nutritional yeast. You can leave that out if you're not a fan. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Teaspoon of garlic powder. And a half teaspoon of cumin. Okay, you want to give this a stir. And at this point, I'm getting in here with my hands and really get this combined. I'm not messing around. So that's basically our burger mixture. Let's get these on the griddle. So you want to have a nice non-stick griddle or skillet. You could actually bake these in the oven as well. Okay, that looks hot enough. Might want to turn this down a little bit. And then I just wet my hands and start making the burgers, usually about the size of the palm of my hand, roughly. And about that thick, whatever that is. So we're gonna cook them at least 6 minutes on each side. I'll check it after 6. And this is another low and slow kind of a deal. Because you want the inside to cook as well. Even though pretty much everything's cooked, I don't like a super mushy burger. So I'm turning this down to like 300. And you get about 6 burgers. All right, there we go. We'll let these cook for about 6 minutes. We'll check them and flip them if they're ready. So it's been 6 minutes. We're gonna give them a quick flip. And then we'll let these cook for 6 minutes on the other side. All right, so here is my sweet potato black bean burger. I'm lettuce wrapping it because, as you know, I have celiac and I didn't have any gluten-free buns. Plus, I wanted something lighter. And this definitely is a light dinner. And you could absolutely pair this with some fries. And I have a dill pickle, a little tomato, sweet onion, and then I have these really nice butter lettuce wraps. So I just put some ketchup on there. Of course, you could put vegan mayo. There's one on my channel. I'll leave a link to that. Or you could put barbecue sauce, whatever you would like on your burger. You could put some cheese sauce on there. A lot of possibilities. Just FYI, these do not freeze well. They fall apart. So they will stay in your refrigerator for about a week. But, you know, so that's enough for 2 dinners, or you can take them for lunch, whatever. But yeah, they're not really good at freezing. So, should I give this a taste? It's gonna be super messy, but I don't know, maybe you like that kind of thing. I'm gonna give it a try. Here we go. I gotta set it down though. Okay, yum, yum, yum. There's the burger. Let's give it the old college try here. I did pretty well. These are so good. If you're missing burgers, you have a burger craving, this is great. Really good. You probably have all the ingredients in your house, so you could throw these together no problem. So if you like this video, if you got value out of it, you found it helpful, please hit the like button. And if you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with sweet potatoes, and then I know you've made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate that. Remember, keep everything simple, just whole foods, things that don't take a lot of time to put together. You don't need fancy recipes. You can modify any of my recipes, add the spices you like, or take things out. My recipes are really customizable, so don't be afraid of being creative and making things your own. And as always, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you. Now I've got my non-skid. Don't mind me while I figure this out. Yes, my hands are clean.